Magic meets mythology. The Chosen One faces the son of Poseidon, one shaped by prophecy, born to defy fate, the other forged by gods to stand against titans. Both have died, come back, and stared destiny in the face without flinching. But if these two heroes ever crossed paths, wand versus sword, spell versus sea, who actually walks away? Well, let's find out. Harry Potter, the boy who lived, the kid who went from a cupboard under the stairs to defeating the darkest wizard in history. But behind all the movies, memes, and lightning scars is a genuinely terrifying magical powerhouse. Harry's raw power doesn't come from some video game stat screen, it's in his blood. His mother's sacrifice gave him magical protection so strong it literally repelled Voldemort's killing curse, a spell designed to annihilate the soul. That protection lingers for years, manifesting in his ability to resist possession, survive direct soul attacks, and even push back against dark magic that disintegrates everything else on contact. And as he grows, Harry's potential explodes. Even as a teenager, he's trading spells with Death Eaters who level buildings with a flick of the wrist. Reducto, Configurio, Expulso, those aren't flashy fireworks, they're concussive explosive bursts that blow apart walls of stone and send armored opponents flying. In the books, in the tie-in games, he channels spells like Fiend Fire, a self-sustaining magical inferno that can incinerate Basilisk Corpse, and magical artifacts strong enough to house pieces of Voldemort's soul. That's not just hot, that's borderline supernatural annihilation. But Harry's not all offense. His shield charms are elite tier. Protego Maxima can block dozens of simultaneous curses. He's tanked direct hits from adult wizards, survived Fiend Fire's backlash, and held his ground against spells that vaporize solid stone. And then there's stuff like the Invisibility Cloak, an actual deathly hollow, not just some wizard trench coat. It renders him truly undetectable, bypassing both physical sight and magical detection, meaning even gods of perception would have to actively feel for his presence to notice him. And of course, there's the Elder Wand, the most powerful wand in existence, capable of amplifying a wizard's natural potential beyond human limits. When Harry holds it, his spells become effortless. Instantaneous teleportation, instantaneous counter spells, and transfiguration on instinct. The Resurrection Stone and the Cloak of Invisibility complete the set, making him a master of death. Lore-wise, that means his soul can't be forcibly taken, and he resists death itself until he willingly accepts it. Still, Harry's got his limits. His body's mortal. He tires, he bleeds, he can be stunned or disarmed. Magic in his world takes focus. One bad emotional spike, one hesitation, and a spell fizzles. His power spikes when he's calm and resolute, but collapses under panic or despair. Against a physical monster or god-tier being, that could be the crack in the armor. Now enter Percy Jackson, demigod, Stormbringer, certified Ocean's favorite son. While Harry's power was nurtured, Percy's was inherited. He's the literal offspring of Poseidon, one of the big three Olympians. That bloodline alone puts him at the upper edge of demigod potential. His base stats are already beyond human comprehension. Even as a kid, Percy was casually tanking impacts that would crush cars. But by the time of the last Olympian, he's taking on Ares, the god of war, and holding his own. Ares' strikes can shatter mountainsides and ignite the air itself, and Percy doesn't just survive, he counters. That fight alone set his durability at least in the multi-city range, if not continental, when you factor divine scaling. And he only gets stronger. By heroes of Olympus, Percy's fought titans like Hyperion and Cryos, entities that embody the primal forces of the cosmos. When Hyperion's power manifests, he turns entire forests into fields of fire. Percy tanks those blasts, then slams him back with tidal waves. He's also taking blows from Kronos, a literal time god, not some metaphorical I control clocks villain, the titan who warps space-time across the realms. And Percy's still standing. But the real X factor is his control over water. His hydrokinesis isn't just splashing waves around. He's parted seas, summoned hurricanes, flooded entire canyons, and created constructs of water dense enough to block lava. And water he heals instantly. Broken bones knit in seconds. His stamina refills endlessly. His strength multiplies exponentially. A hydrated Percy is practically a god. Then there's Riptide, a celestial bronze sword forged by the gods themselves. It cuts through magic, divine flesh, and monsters alike, bypassing mortal durability completely. The blade can deflect lightning, pierce titan armor, and reforms automatically if lost. Unlike Harry's wand, doesn't require focus. It's pure instinct. What makes Percy dangerous, though, isn't just the power, it's his mindset. He's fought gods, monsters, and armies, and still leads with tactical precision. He's faced down the literal embodiment of Earth, Gaia, and didn't flinch. He's used his environment to overwhelm opponents, turning entire landscapes into weapons. And he's fast, faster than any normal demigod. He can react to lightning, outmaneuver flying chimeras, and blitz enemies across battlefields before they can even finish their war cry. So now the stage is set. It's a neutral ground, no ocean advantage, no Hogwarts, a cracked battlefield of dirt and stone, clouds thick above, wind slicing through the silence. One carries the power of Olympus, the other the legacy of death itself. The moment they see each other, Harry feels it, the hum of divine power, like static electricity crawling across his skin. Percy's instincts kick in instantly. The kid's been hunted by gods, monsters, and fate itself. There's no time for monologues. Harry moves first, as always. A flick of the Elder Wand, Expelliarmus, the disarming charm that ended wars. But Percy's reflexes are built different. He sidesteps the beam before it fully forms, the red light crackling the earth behind him. Another spell follows. Stupefy, Impedimento, Rapid Fire, but each one hits a barrier of swirling mist. Percy's hydrokinesis, condensing humidity into a liquid shield that eats the kinetic force and splashes harmlessly away. Percy retaliates, a ground-shattering stomp, summoning water from the soil itself. A geyser bursts upwards, forcing Harry back. He barely apparates out of range, reappearing with a crack of displaced air behind Percy. Petrificus Totalis, he shouts, but Riptide intercepts, its divine metal absorbing the spell's energy with a sound like thunder. Harry switches tactics, conjuring multiple illusions, mirror images of himself fanning out in a circle. Each one begins casting simultaneously, a dozen crimson flashes firing in unison. Percy closes his eyes, feels the moisture in the air, and detonates it. A vapor explosion that flattens everything in a 20-meter radius. Illusions vanish instantly. The real Harry barely manages to shield himself, his robe smoking from the impact. For all of Harry's intelligence, Percy's combat instincts are primal. Every movement is purposeful, no wasted motion. He charges, swinging Riptide with enough force to crater the ground. Harry conjures a stone barrier, but it splits like paper. He teleports again, firing off a curse mid-apparition. Expelliarmus! but Percy raises a tidal surge from the dirt, the beam refracting and dissipating as the energy disperses through the water. Percy closes the distance again, and Harry goes for Fiend Fire. A serpentine inferno roars into existence, the ground trembling under its heat. The flames twist into dragons, serpents, and beasts, devouring everything in sight. Percy's eyes narrow. He slams Riptide into the ground and channels everything. The air fills with mist. Steam erupts as wall after wall of super pressurized water smothers the flames, turning the battlefield into a storm. The clash creates a shockwave strong enough to level a city block. Harry's thrown back, disoriented, gasping through the steam. Percy's silhouette moves through the haze like a phantom, Riptide glowing. Harry tries one last thing, apparates high above, channels lightning through the Elder Wand, amplifying it with the Elder Wand's own power. The sky itself responds, clouds crackling as he calls down a bolt with enough voltage to vaporize a troll army. But Percy just smiles. He raises a hand, and the storm bends to him. That's the thing, thunder and lightning are part of his family. The son of Poseidon is brother to the god of lightning. He channels it, redirects it, and hurls it back amplified through Riptide. The explosion's blinding. When the light fades, Harry's on one knee, wand shaking. His shield charms in tatters, the Elder Wand flickering with instability. Percy stands firm, breathing steady, his divine aura pulsing like waves on a shore. Harry gives a final, desperate whisper, Sectum Sempra. The curse flies through the air like a blade, carving through dust and debris. Percy catches it on Riptide, the spell dispersing into harmless light. He doesn't swing, he just steps forward, taps the flat of his blade to Harry's chest, not to kill, but to end the fight. Because that's who Percy is. He's not cruel, he's not merciless, but he is stronger. And that's the core of it. Harry's magic is versatile, reality bending, and endlessly creative. But Percy's power is raw, divine, and overwhelming. Harry can destroy castle walls, Percy can reshape landscapes. Harry can shield against curses, Percy can tank hits from gods. Harry's magic depends on focus. Percy's fury is his focus. Even in neutral ground without his ocean amp, Percy's sheer endurance, speed, and destructive potential massively outscales Harry's human limits. The only scenario where Harry could win is through perfect prep and environmental control, turning the terrain into a labyrinth of traps and enchantments. But in a straight fight, no water needed, no tricks, no time to plan, Percy dominates. It's a god's son versus a mortal wizard. One's bound by human law, the other writes his own. So while Harry Potter may be the chosen one, Percy Jackson is the one who wins. 7 out of 10 times, the son of Poseidon walks away standing, singed, tired, but undefeated. Percy Jackson wins. And that's the fight. The boy who defied death versus the demigod who commands nature. Two heroes of prophecy, both symbols of hope in their worlds. But when myth meets magic, it's the tide that rises and the wizard who falls.